And we should now be live. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to double check everything is working correctly on my end. Yeah, would appear to be. Good, excellent. I always like to check. One can never be too careful. How are we doing? Hello, Joshua. Hello, Professor Rogups. Hello, Berenson. I'm doing fine. I've had a busy day today. I went out and finished up doing my Christmas shopping. Goodness grief. I hate Christmas shopping in person. And yeah, today I thought we would complete the final challenge mode that I have to do, which is Indonesia. It's the one I've been putting off. And yeah, I'm going to start by trying to get the Ceratosaurus happy, because I think that's going to be the easiest one to go for straight away. And then we'll play it by ear from there. Right, he's down. Oh, wrong button. Hello, chat. The animals here are intelligent, so it's best not to give them a view of the guests. Yeah, I don't quite understand the intelligence trait, because it's not necessarily a view of the guests. They have like an area of effect around them as well, so you have to be really careful. Did you just see that one? It just curved away. There we go. Oh, okay, you need two, not the one. There we are. Excellent. Right. Where is the enclosure? It is there. And these guys are obviously going to need prey to be happy. At least we don't have to worry about having babies. You can use the Jurassic Park gate to make sure large dinosaurs can't escape. That is true if we take into account that hopefully the gates will never not be open, but that is a good point. We'll make use of those gates. My thoughts on Game Nominees 2025 box, I will go over that in a second. I just want to get things going to begin with. Hello, Cairo. How are you? How is that obstructed? See, if we had a bridge, I would just build a bridge at this point, but we don't, because we can't. I said smooth terrain, for goodness sake. I think my left mouse button is dying. Editing videos really takes it out of mouse buttons. Environmental issues. Wetland. Requirement. Oh, shall we use some of the new cypress swamp? Since we have it. Now they want a lot more wetland than I remember. And they would like some pasture. Ooh, just about capable of fulfilling that in that little bit there. Oh, George Lambert, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I see. So they'll even see through these rock walls. Interesting. Right. So what does intelligent... I don't even know understand how this works. Does it mean they will always attempt... breaks out to reach nearby food, guests, and dinosaurs? Well, they can't break through rocks, so... It's a level 2 fence. What animal... What's the security rating of this guy? Five. Okay. Because to me, it seems like the most easiest solution is just to get up to stronger fences as quickly as possible. So in that case, what does that require? It requires logistics. So if we just hire every decent logistics person we can. This is the only challenge I'm never going to try to 5-star. That says a lot about this challenge, King Gigo. You have limited fencing. What? Oh, we do. Oh, I didn't notice that. That's rather cheeky of them. You're doing the Montana challenge now, Kyrie. Ah, the park is shut and naturally shut. So I'm assuming the suggestion is delete all of the fence, replace it with unbreakable modular building stuff. And they won't be able to get out of that gate. At all. Is, I assume, the hope? Let's just run an experiment.
Attention personnel. The park is opening.
See how it goes.
Will be arriving
we are going to need a good old classic ranger in here. Oh, we do have dome galleries. Okay, so that's useful. They have no way of escaping. See, I feel like the modular building system kind of now makes this intelligent dinosaur trait inherently kind of useless. We'll see what happens. What bathroom shall we use? Let's use these guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We better make sure there's a bunker here. We'll use my
nature calls.
wonderful din bunker. Lovely. Will you play Planet Zoo 2 when it comes out? That is a good question. Probably not. Probably not. I'm afraid that, and this may be something me and Evo are going to chat about on Sunday when we have our big conversation. I don't actually think that modular building is a very good game mechanic. I actually think it's a very bad game mechanic. And, you know, we've already got Evolution 3 as a modular building game, and that's difficult enough to stay engaged with. We've also got Prehistoric Kingdom, which is also modular building, which is also difficult to stay engaged with. I'm not sure I could handle another modular building game to stay engaged with. You can throw the Allosaurus with them, they won't fight. Yes, but this is already a relatively small enclosure, Professor Rugops. And I'm not convinced the Allosaurus will be happy to be in there regardless, so I'm going to play it careful. Plus, you know me, I do not mix my enclosures when it comes to carnivores, because I think that's just asking for trouble. I vastly prefer single species enclosures. When it comes to carnivores, at least. The Allo, I'm... Would a single Allosaurus be okay in something that big? I think it's likely it will be. Let's, oops. You know, the one thing I don't like is... I don't get why we have to do this ourselves. I understand that these manually placed dinosaurs on this island are what they are, but I don't understand why we simply cannot tell a helicopter to go and trank them regardless. I don't think there's any reason not to do it. It just seems like, oh, we want to force players to use annoying helicopter and shooting controls. I mean, I am not going to have any chance tranking those bloody Atrociraptors. Can you imagine if they were flipping compies? Oh, come on. Alright, let's put the yellow in there. The simple... I've missed something. Modular building is a thing that's difficult to get into. Simplicity is a reason why I prefer aspects of the first two Jurassic World Evolution games than the Zoo Tycoon series. Hello, Colt. How are you doing? Any news on the job? Oh yeah, auto lock exists, but then I don't feel like I'm. I feel like if you use auto lock, people. Yeah, I first person shooter games were some of the earliest games I was legitimately good at. So I feel like to not do the job myself is just an embarrassment, shall we say. Tranking compies is why I hate the Southwest USA Challenge. No news yet, they were finishing up phone interviews. Oh, well, crossing fingers, Colt. Imagine trying to tranquilize Compsognathus while controlling the object. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would just be... It would just be impossible, wouldn't it? Which is another reason why I think the idea of oh, you're not gonna let us change the okay, interesting that this is Ceratosaurus. They gave us the information, but with the allo, nope. But as I was saying, yeah, it's another... The fact that tranquilizing compies would be so awful, that's another reason why I'm like... Perhaps then small dinosaur terrariums should be a thing, because if you fundamentally can't use certain mechanics on some of these animals, then maybe that's indicative of a problem. Oh, by the way, while we're waiting for stuff to occur... The wall pieces are mostly done. I still need to make a corner piece, but the gatehouse is all done and finished. The observation tower is done and finished. The lift tower is done and finished, even with a fake inside. And our wall piece is done and finished. So, yeah. Okay, 2 environmental issues. You're pissed off that there's no prey, and you're pissed off that there's no cover. Okie dokie. Well, there's the prey for you, and we'll get you some cover. I'm surprised how easy the Allosaurus requirements are. I really don't like the Minions Allosaurus model. I just still don't like it. Just nah. Oh, and we better include some viewing galleries. So, I mean, I think the dome is kind of wrong one to use, personally. Maybe the dome is the better one to use.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Bit plain. I'm just gonna add some additional stuff found. I hate plain inclusions. Here we go. You happy? You're happy. Okay. We probably want to make sure we can actually be making money, so I'm actually going to plonk down one of my own built ones, since it's smaller and fits a little easier. That's my little shop. And we'll place down my food building as well. Somewhere. This one might be harder to place down. Why is that there? Oh, right, yeah, of course. So, yeah, I have to delete that bit of path first. There, and then I can put that there. Yeah. And we'll need a boring old bar. There we go. Lovely. I really like this restaurant. I'm really happy that the bridge thing works. I'm looking forward to building a proper park with these elements. Right. Hello, the Wandering Gambler. It looks like a croc cosplaying as a dinosaur. Yes. Or is a dinosaur cosplaying as a croc? Since the croc is the one that evolved first. Depending on, you know, whether you consider things like Chasmatosaurs crocs. I do have the Wetlands DLC, Rugups. If you have not seen, I did do my video review on it the other day. This week, in fact. So, if you want to know my feelings, you can go and watch that. But, you know, if you want a very broad opinion, it's fine. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. Where are we supposed to put the other? I'm just thinking about where we can actually organize these, like, areas to actually put stuff. I'm gonna need hyperloops, aren't I? Or at least monorails, but we can't get those until we have at least 800 guests in the park. So, what I want to do is just seal off this whole area here, and that'll just be another enclosure. And I'm probably just going to stick the Spinosaurus in here, because that's going to be the easiest one to throw in there. No power. Well, we'll deal with the power in a minute. That should do. Oh, maybe the Gigas should go in there, actually. What's... It's interesting that the Planet Zoo players rate the pack much harder. They see a lot of value in scenery pieces. I mean, I see some value in scenery pieces, but definitely not that much. Personally, it's just another wood variety. We have 3 wood varieties already. I don't see much gained by adding another wood variety to the game. I think some of the prop pieces are useful, and I think obviously the fact the biggest one in that is the fact that we now have rope. The fact that we've had to buy a DLC to get rope, I think, is cheeky, frankly, because I would have thought rope would be such a basic element that it would have been in the game already, but alas, we had to buy ropes. But the ropes are definitely... I can see why some Planet Zoo players are like, oh yeah, this is really useful for, you know, we got ropes, we got a boat, we got a few, you know, pier pieces and stuff that we can use to do stuff with. So I suppose if you're a hardcore architect, then fine. But something, I mean, maybe, Colt, you can help me with this. Are the hardcore Planet Zoo players doing much with Evolution 3? Like, have they actually, even after launch, continued to build and stuff? I'm a little bit annoyed that there's this one lone Atrociraptor over here, so I might have to deal with that as I'm actually I'm gonna cut the path just to stop any visitors going that way before I've made it safe. Rudy and Leaf certainly are. Delady was excited for it and just couldn't mess with it. Rudy has a project he uploads soon. Okay, so here's the next question I have then. Do you think that will continue to stay? Given that Planet Zoo 2 is coming out next year? And I suppose what I mean beyond, like, because I'm sure a lot of them have built stuff, but I don't consider that playing the game. Like, if all they're doing is building with the modular building system, that's not playing the game. Not in my opinion, anyway. Like, that's just building on another modular game. I don't think it's the same thing. So far, all the ones I've seen have building series. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, sandbox is fine. Like, if you're building in sandbox, that's also fine. What I mean is, like, are they actually, like, you know, building in sandbox? Are they actually building parks, or are they just, here's another cool thing I've built in the modular building system to show off, you know? This guy is gonna require investigation to make sure he's nice and happy. I think we will send the second ring like that. And then we want to make sure we have somewhere for the Atrociraptors. Oh yes, they are building full pugs. Oh well then, that's good. But do you think they will still be doing that in, say, 6 months' time? Because obviously, the way I look at it is these are Planet Zoo players. You know, they're not Evolution players, they're Planet Zoo players. And the only reason they've come to this game is because it has modular building now. And my position is, well, once Planet Zoo 2 comes out, are those players going to bugger off back to, you know, where they made their money, as it were, on Planet Zoo? Or are they going to stick to Evolution 3? As much as, you know, me and Evo. I think until Planet Zoo 2 comes out, they will. Once they get the aviaries and aquariums in Planet Zoo 2, they'll most likely split their time and gravitate towards their first passion. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, everyone has their passion projects. But then this was why I don't think Evolution 3 should have been trying to court their Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster player bases. I don't think it's a good idea to try to force everybody into every single game. That's just my perspective. Okay, you are very unhappy. What do you require? You want wetland as well, so we'll give you plenty of the new swampy wetland. That for some reason is putting down less trees than it was when I looked at this earlier on. Everything else you're happy with, so I shall just give you some decoration to make sure your paddock doesn't look so bloody empty. And you want prey. Natural. The hardcore Planet Zoo players have done a ton of research and time researching real zoos and animal care, which is kind of hard with extinct animals. Yeah, I mean, one of the projects I never got round to doing for Evolution 2 was to build a park using like real zoo guidelines as a guide, but I never got around to do it because it would have been a very long, slow, laborious process. Right, let's go and get the Atrociraptors. The only time they will show up in any of my parks. So, while I'm doing this, let's talk about the Video Game Awards. Now, obviously, Claire Obscura was the darling of the Video Game Awards this year. It swept up a huge number of them. I have no clue about the game. Like, I literally have... Oh, one of them is already in there, but I've still got to crank it in. I have no idea what the game even is, so I can't really say much about Claire Obscura. Like, congratulations on winning so many awards, I guess, for it. Generic RPG, but French. Oh, so it's probably very artsy then, because the French do like their artsy stuff. What was there? Oh, it's right there. Ah. Okay, there's another one. And then there should be... somewhere over here, another Giga. Oh, how did that one? Seriously, come on. The drop-off on these darts is unbelievable. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Let's move these while we have a second. Lovely. And you, a Velociraptor into there. Velociraptor into there. You guys are going to want prey, I guess. So there we go, prey. You're very excited about the new Star Wars racing. Oh right, I haven't heard of what trailers and stuff got revealed. But then, you know, I used to be a big fan of the old Star Wars pod racing game that used to be on the Nintendo 64 back when I was a kid. So I mean, I would be all for a new Star Wars racing game. What's going on here? They announced Total War Warhammer 40k. I mean, I knew they had already done normal Warhammer. Total War 40k might be something that convinces me to try that one out. I wish that Creative Assemblies would just make, you know, a World War I inspired Total War game. Because they're about one of the few people I think who could actually do it and make it good. And I've been saying that since they did Empire Total War, which is one of my favourite strategy games of all time. Right. I mean, I'm looking forward to Creative Assembly showing off Alien Isolation 2 once it's in a position to be shown off, of course. Ah, right, maintenance requirements. We had forgotten all about that. No. Of course. I have actually turned the music off, I've just realised. Did people want me to turn it back on? Or are they happy with no music? I personally don't mind either way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Right, maintenance team 1, there. Maintenance team 2, and there. Right, let's go get those Atrociraptors. think I guess there's no music. Okay, I'll leave the music off. See, sometimes the dart spirals up, and then sometimes it spirals down. It's very annoying. The other one is... where? Ah, there. I see you hiding in the grass. There we go. And then I guess Mr. Spinosaurus will put him over here. And then we just have to figure out how to get the rest of the requirements up, I guess. 9 total dinosaur species basically means 9 separate enclosures, and that is going to be tricky. Because that'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll be it's gonna be tricky to fit them in. Compies and dilos don't need big pens. That's true. Creative Assembly should focus more on historical warfare. I do totally agree with you, Dr. Dino. I think they're forgetting where they made most of their money, which is stuff like Empire Total War and things like that. But it is what it is. Anyway, we were talking about the video game awards. So, I'll be blunt. I don't think Evolution 3 deserved to win Game of the Year in the Sim category. I just don't think it did. As good as Evolution 3 is, and it is good, I will, freely admit that, yeah, Evolution 3 is good. I don't think it's good enough to deserve Game of the Year, especially when it is the 3rd game that they've released. With arguably game number 1 and number 2 being, I'm not going to say bad, but not exactly fantastic, let's be blunt, And just because number 3 happens to be not quite as shit as number 2 and number 1 was, I don't think that deserves Game of the Year. I personally think 2 Point Museum deserved it more because 2 Point has been putting out great games ever since they started. All 3 of the games they released have been amazing. I loved 2 Point Hospital. 2 Point University was also perfectly fine by all accounts. And 2 Point Museum is just gloriously good fun. And my opinion is that 2 Point Museum deserved it more. This Final Fantasy game that won it, I've never heard of it. But I'm assuming it's some mobile title popular in Japan or China, which is probably why it won. Because it's probably got millions of Asian players in the market. But yeah, out of the two that I was bothered about being in there, Evolution 3 and 2 Point Museum, my opinion was that 2 Point Museum deserved Game of the Year more. So I am not sad that Evolution 3 didn't win. I am a little bit sad that 2 Point Museum didn't win. But I'm glad that Evolution 3 didn't win as well. I don't know if that makes me harsh. Like, is it harsh of me to say I'm glad that Evolution 3 didn't win? Because they didn't deserve it? Might be a little harsh towards the developers that I'm sure have put a lot of time and a lot of crunch into making this game what it is. But as a consumer, and that is a thing I think we all have to remember, regardless of how much time and effort all these developers put into a video game, fundamentally, we can only judge them as consumers. I don't think this game is worthy of Game of the Year. What? How? How? Tell me how they're doing that. We can see how they're bloody doing it, can't we? How is that not obstructed? Okay, this right here, this is a perfect example of why I think this game should not have been modular building. Because the modular building doesn't work properly. There was something about the positioning of those rocks that was making it so they could get out. That's preposterous. It's just silly. Other video game awards. I'm glad that Baldur's Gate 3 is still winning awards for its community support. I think it's very much deserved. I am really surprised that Hades 2 won Best Action Game, beating out Battlefield 6 and Doom. I'm like, how the hell did it manage that? Like, seriously, how did Hades 2 achieve that? Now then, somebody mentioned that we have some dinosaurs already unlocked for us, which if that is the case, I mean, outside buildable areas. There's tons of space there. There is tons of space there. Okay, come on. Come on. That is not outside buildable area. Evolution 3, that is not outside the buildable area. There is tons of space. Okay, we have no dinosaurs unlocked here at all. So I'm assuming we're going to have to go and get all the DNA ourselves. For the dilos and the compies. Well, I do not give a damn about compies, so we'll go and get dilos first of all. Is our Spino going to be... Is happy over there? He seems to be.
Ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Still a stupid design. I hate that gig. And they're both females. That's a bit limiting for us. It's fine. King Giga Shush. I've told you before about backseat gaming. And I'm doing this at a slower pace because I've had a busy day and I'm tired. Yes, Professor Rugops. The fact that Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotai as well got absolutely nothing, I think is a bit of a crime, personally. They are amazing games. But I would say perhaps their player base is a bit more niche. Death Stranding 2's especially. Me and Hideo Kojima games, we just don't gel. I've never understood why he was considered that great of a video game developer. None of his games have really ever appealed to me. And Death Stranding is one of those franchises that I'm like, if you explained what this game was to someone in, like, if you explained what the game was to someone who had no idea about video gaming at all, I'm not sure they would want to play it. Maybe it's just the Hideo Kojima effect. So.
You can do it.
I don't know.
I have to do to fire a spell.
Diablo Ceratops will have quills for my man Fletcher. Look, I want to see a feathered or quilled Ceratopsian. I want to see a feathered or properly quilled sauropod. Like, let's have some imagination, people. I'm just roughly putting down amenities. Some of these I'm going to obviously replace with medium ones, but I just want to make sure we've got stuff coming in where it needs to be. Fossils. Oh, blimey, that fossil expedition is still ongoing. Jesus. Incidentally, I have no idea what Dane is doing in the background.
I will mention again. Wow.
I think he is. I think he is streaming with his new buddies. Asked. We had an opportunity to expand after Dominion only for Rebirth to show up and say, no, we're just going to another island that we made up. Yeah, see, I don't understand. I don't understand the difficulty in like trying to come up with a storyline after because that's what they all said, right? It's like, oh well, we don't know what to do after Dominion. We have no idea. And I'm like, seriously? You have the premise of dinosaurs are loose in our world, and you cannot come up with a premise for that as a movie? Like, what? No, you have an easier job than the writer of Jurassic Park 3, and you cannot come up with a story? How does that happen?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
I mean, people have said that I should do like a what if I was writing Rebirth video, same as I did for Dominion, like rewriting Dominion. People say I should do like a rewriting Rebirth video, but I'm like, I'm not sure I would want to, because basically it wouldn't be Rebirth anymore. Like, the entire movie would be... The entire film would be so radically different. It wouldn't be, let's rewrite Rebirth. It would be, let's just write a whole Jurassic Park film. And I'm... You know, that's a very heavy project that I don't have time for, because I have other projects I want to do. Like, I have a brief idea of what, or a brief idea about what I would want. Like, I have an idea for, like, a story where it's, I suppose, a little bit like, Pulp Fiction, if anyone's ever seen it, where you have, like, different people going through, like, different stories that all come together at some point around the dinosaurs, and they would all be quite different stories. So you have like a group of people who are like trying to conserve the dinosaurs, and then you have a group of people who are like in trouble because the dinosaurs are hunting them, and then you have like a group of people that are, you know, different groups of people who are interacting with the dinosaurs in different ways, which then all end up coming together at some point during the movie. That was just one idea I had. I had like an alternative idea for a very claustrophobic dinosaur film where it's literally just one person and one, like Alien Isolation. It's one person and one dinosaur in a very enclosed environment, probably, you know, whether it's a forest or whether it's like an office building or something that the dinosaur has gotten into, and that person is stuck within the building and they have to survive, or something like that, which also I think could work really well. A child and a child and a dinosaur could be a very interesting idea as well. I mean, I did have a really random idea, but I'm not sure what story you tell. But I would tell a story from the dinosaur's perspective. So you have no human characters at all. And the entire film is from the perspective of a dinosaur or multiple dinosaurs. and the story is entirely about them and has maybe a tangential connection to humanity. Like humanity is this sort of background force or influence, but the story is not about human characters. Like there are no human characters, and essentially there would be no speech either. It would all you would have is sort of the interactions between dinosaurs, the behavior of the dinosaurs to guide your interpretation of what's going on. Which I think would be a very interesting film to make, but it would probably not be a very successful one because people wouldn't understand it. It would be quite an artsy sort of film to make. But I think, again, you're asking for ideas of of stories you can tell in a world where dinosaurs are free and to engage with humanity. Well, why not tell a story about dinosaurs directly in our world? You don't have to have talking dinosaurs, aka Disney's Dinosaur or Walking with Dinosaurs, the film. You could just show dinosaurs directly in a realistic way, with humans as this background thing, or the humans as the threat, or the humans as antagonists to the dinosaurs. And I mean, I think if you told a story from the dinosaurs, it would be, you could argue a lot more that the name Rebirth would suit a film told entirely from the dinosaurs' perspective instead of a human perspective.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
In fact, I even know how I would start a movie like that off. Instead of having that rebirths, I would kind of do something similar to Rebirth, where you have those, those sentences on white on black, because I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with that. I think you just need to say the right things. I would still start with the whole, it's been X number of years since dinosaurs became, a dominant force on the planet again, and then I would just end that with another single sentence that says, this is their story.
we are pleased to welcome a Dilophosaurus.
And then you would just open up into the life of these animals. Because, I mean, I think that's another place where the modern Jurassic movies kind of not necessarily fail, but it's another sort of thing that they struggle with, is having decent human characters. So if you have no human characters at all, you immediately solve one of those problems. Too few adult males. A movie about a blind man and pregnant woman stuck in a hospital with a novel title. I mean, that feels a little cliche to me, like the pregnant woman and a blind person. That's just gore at that point. Oh, well, that's the other thing that I would definitely have in my film. Like, if I was going to make a dinosaur movie, this is a dinosaur movie that's rated like an 18 plus, or at least a 15. Like, there will be blood. And obviously, the choice of dinosaur is also important. Do I have access to... I do. Good. So I probably, if I was going to do that sort of dinosaur and one dinosaur and one person trapped in a building together or a place together, it wouldn't be a raptor. I would try and go for something different. I mean, I think, you know, one person trapped in a building with a Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus would be just as good a film if you trapped him in there with a raptor, if not better, because the Jurassic Park Dilo has all the advantages of the venom spitting that it can do.
I have two. I have two.
Or go one step further, have a couple of people out in the forest being hunted down by a camouflaging Carnotaurus. Jurassic needs to move away from just raptors and Rex. Here's what I'm thinking about this Spinosaurus. I'm thinking we just do this. Bomb. And let's just quickly get a gate.
Oh. Oh no. All of them.
I love the fact that I said like, oh, you know, doing a rebirth film would be difficult and time consuming and blah blah blah, and I've literally just come up with like 3 perfectly valid. Maybe I should do a video on this after all. Because it's obvious I've got some theories anyway. Two ailments? What? Undiagnosed? Oh, buggers. Oh, we are close to 4 stars. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? You got better ideas than any of those geniuses at Universal. I thank you for your kind words. Oh. I think our internet's just... No, we're good, we're good. Universal should give Jurassic a rest. Maybe adapt The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle or the Primordia trilogy by Grieg Beck? Yeah, Basti. Occasionally there is a dropout. Sorry for that. Infection. Rabies. Really? They've given it rabies? Right, now I still have to go and trank this dino. We could have had new volcano or new velociraptors instead of mutants. Yeah, like I've gotten some flack from certain individuals for my stance on both the D-Rex and the Mutadon being the worst elements of that film. And the response I get from them is, oh, you just don't like them because they're not dinosaurs. But that isn't technically true, because I'm not inherently anti-hybrid, actually. What I'm against is the implementation of animals in such... It has been. Yeah, it's really bugging up. I'm not against implementation of hybrids or even mutants, for that matter. What I'm against is them doing it in such boring, lazy ways. Like, if you're going to do something like that, actually have something interesting to do with them. Have an interesting story to tell. Have an interesting... You know, make them actually interesting animals. Because that's the other problem I have with stuff like the Indominus Rex. Is it's an incredibly boring design. I'm sorry, the Indo-Rex design is rubbish. It's literally just a white T-Rex, and people who say otherwise are deceiving themselves. It's a white T-Rex with slightly different hands. That's all it is. I mean, I love the fact that the... You know, this Indo-Rex doesn't even use its camouflage ability more than once. And that's how you can tell that the people who came up with the Indominus Rex were just... had no idea what the animal was going to do. Because... You give this animal, like, the ability to camouflage, and you give this animal all these superpowers, and then they use them exactly once. And they never use them again. That's because they wrote the scene before they had the animal, you know. Wouldn't it... Someone walked into the room where they were writing the script, they said, wouldn't it be cool if our wonder dinosaur could camouflage and lay a trap and kill everyone? And they all went, yes, what a great thing to do. And then they wrote the action scene for that specific superpower, and then that was it.
It hit 2 people.
I don't like the Mutadons, primarily because I think they look like discount Godzilla animals. I think you could have had mutant raptors that did not look like discount mutos or discount wyverns from Game of Thrones. You could have had mutated raptors that actually did look fucked up. So, where is our... Right, our Spino has 2 issues. They want wetland and... deep water. So let's make sure he has some lovely deep water. There they are, my lovely Spino. And you want some wetland. Well, I think we'll have to use the new swamp wetland for that. Can we get some nice... See, sometimes I think that the misty fog is not actually very thick. I feel like it should be thicker, but... What? What did it... What did it just... Did you just see that? That was weird. It did. It literally did downward doggy pose. Still, anyway. It is now happy. Now then, we are going to make use of the hyperloops. And we're going to go... There's a hyperloop station. And we're going to go... There's a hyperloop station. And then we're going to go... One. And then there's going to be one over here. Ah, see, I can tell my internet dropped out for a minute because the community creations aren't working. Okay.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Oh, I think we've hit max on the old power supply. We have, but that's fine. We got plenty of space to chuck another one in.
Attention personnel. We have
Danger to guests.
available personnel.
Oh right, yeah, because they could get through there. No power source. Go. And we can just straight up stick a power plant down here, since we'll need one anyway. There we go. And then we can just drop a good old viewing dome in here somewhere. The hybrids feel overused at this point. I wouldn't say they feel overused. I think what's happened is they were used so badly that we would just rather they didn't get used again. It's a case of you've tried now 5 times. If you include Camp Cretaceous, Jurassic
We
World,
have
Fallen
added a
Kingdom.
new viewing gallery,
I suppose technically
ready
there
for you
wasn't
to
any
observe our
hybrids in
magnificent
Dominion.
animals.
And then I suppose you can include... So maybe 4 times. And you haven't utilized them effectively in any of them, so... At this point, stop trying and come up with a new idea, I think is what we would rather they do. Okie dokie. But let's make sure that their bathroom needs are... They won't be... aren't any necessary there. I'm still pondering where to put the other species. This area feels like it would be big enough for... it's still pretty small, though. I feel even the compies wouldn't do very well there. I'm going to assume that the only animals you can make use of in this is carnivores. Yes, of course it is. So in that case, do this one. Can we squeeze 3 small carnivore enclosures into this area here? I think we probably can, if we're careful. I'm thinking we could definitely fit one. Can we get Ostroraptor in Irritator? Not with my scientists busy, but I suppose we could try to get them. It is past though. We've only got another sort of half hour or so of the stream, but I'll give it a shot. Is that gonna be big enough for something like, Trudon, Silo, Herrera. Tempted to say probably Trudon or Silo. Go with Coelophysis. I think Coelophysis should be okay in something of this size. And then, let's say we then have another enclosure. Like here. Like I say, we'll try and get the irritator and the ostro. That's why I'm trying to make these enclosures a bit bigger, because I have a feeling irritator is going to want a reasonable size. And if we make okay, that should be sufficient, I think, for any remaining dinosaurs. Oops. Go. Let's whack it onto fast forward to try and get this done as quickly as we can. So, here's a question for folks in chat. January, February, and March, we are going to be getting one returning Jurassic World Evolution to base species that's been cut from the game back. What 3 animals would you like to see them start with? Oranosaurus early on, says Rugops. Interesting choice. Amargasaurus. Berenson's trying to curry favor with me. Amargasaurus, Gigantoraptor, and Yay. Well, Gigantoraptor won't be in there because that's a DLC species. Same as Yehalopterus, Chad. Remember, we only know for a fact the base game evolution to animals we're getting for free 1 a month from January. So Orano, Majunga, and Cryo. Cryolophosaurus, I think, was an underappreciated animal, certainly from the second game. I hope they give it some nice sexual dimorphism. Wow, it's gone suddenly bloody dark. I didn't realise we had day-night cycles on this map. Right, let's get some... Actually, before I go and get the Coelophysis, let's research that Osteoraptor dig site. I do think the Omnivore and Piscivore dig site needs to be... Like, I think there needs to be 2 versions of this. Like, Spino and Suko should be in one. And Osteoraptor, Barry, and Irritator should be in another. I think it's a bit weird to have all 5 locked in the same... you know, category. Cryo and then Euoplocephalus. Megalosaurus, but it's not base game, and I fear it may be lost forever. Okay, so I don't think people are understanding the question. The question was not what species would you like to have for free come back. The question was what ones of the ones we know for a fact we're definitely getting do we think we're going to get first? So ignoring DLC animals, because I would love to have Megalo back, I would love to have Hawango back and Pachyrhinosaurus back and Gigantoraptor back and all the rest, but we know right now we have no confirmation that they're coming back, so let's just... the ones we know for a fact we're getting back, the 3 base game ones. Right, Irritator is Brazil, so we'll go and sort that out. Actually, we won't send you, we'll send... Okay, we will send you that. I think we should nuke Liplorodon. I hope that when Liplorodon come back, they have changed the Liplorodon design, because obviously it really badly needed it. I have a suspicion I'm probably going to need the staff center to finish this park off, so we'll get those sorted out. And, you know, we'll dump a hotel over here.
Our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Incidentally, I brought a book today for myself while I was Xmas shopping, which is all about Spinosaurids. It's all the updated research from like the last few years. So in the new year, I might do my first 10 things you might not know about video. It might be just a general 10 things you might not know about Spinosaurids in general. I'm going to want to make sure I have another... You know what, can I put the castle in here? Can I fit it in here? I can fit it in here. So we'll put it in. That book will be outdated in next year. Probably. Probably. Right, let's get to Irritator, shall we? Now, one thing I would say I am disappointed with is the batch size. Irritator has a really shit batch size. Let's hope we get 2. We did get 2. I mean, they're rubbish, but we got 2. Off center. Spinosaurus be like in the next 3 years has the ability to fly and shoot lasers. Go and rest these scientists before they all betray me. I wonder if the update fixed the fact that the scientists are broken. Oh, it did. Damn, that's a shame. The one time Frontier fixes something, and it's something that shouldn't have been fixed. Right. Oh, it's got rabies too. Delightful. Irritator, I'm going to drop in here. And let's assume automatically that they're going to want deep water. And let's assume automatically they're going to want plenty of wetland. And let's go from that. Did they fix security cameras? I didn't know security cameras were broken. Oh, I hope you guys can get out. Oh, bollocks. I'm gonna have to rebuild that. Because it was too close to the rocks. They couldn't get out. Okay, hopefully that should do. There we go. Lovely. 2 environmental issues. Not enough barren. Not enough barren? Okay. Here's some more barren for you, and not enough cover. There you go, Irritator. Austroraptor next. Which is down here, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so here's another question for you. Again, just to sort of stimulate something that I want to make video about in the new year. Obviously, this game is not, in terms of management, very good. So I'm curious to know if they introduced some new management features, what new management features would you like to see? And I'm taking a very broad sort of definition of the word management. It doesn't have to be necessarily, you know, staff or something. Like, if you think it's a management feature, what sort of management features would you guys like to see come to the game? Fix the scientist system. Okay, so beyond fixing the scientist system. Enrichment needs for some dinosaurs. Yeah, so I think enrichment would be something really relatively easy to add in. I don't think it would be particularly difficult. Because they literally have Planet Zoo's enrichment system. So just take Planet Zoo's enrichment system, you know. then you'd be, you'd be well and done, wouldn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing platform, ready for you to gain an elevated view of our wonderful dinosaurs.
Our wonderful dinosaurs. Restroom 3 has malfunctioned. Oh no! The toilets need their plumbers. Where was my maintenance, guys? I have maintenance somewhere, don't I? Where's the maintenance building? Oh, there it is. No, that's the power plant. There it was. Okay, Guy, you need to kind of deal with that. Oh, let's just do one more trip to Atrociraptor. Trash cleaner and guide tourists. JPOG like guests. I don't think the guests will ever be changed. At this point, I don't think you could change the way the guests work without making a whole new game, because obviously it's all coding stuff. So, as much as I think it's necessary to do so, I don't think it would be possible. Oh, I don't need down of those. I got these guys. Use the hotkey. I don't like hotkeys. I can never remember them all. I like clicking with the mouse. I'm a mouse user. You can't make a proper waterfall in an aviary, just some weird, bad-looking flowing water. Oh, because you're not able to build really tall terrain in the aviaries. That's kind of sucks. Is everything still silent inside them as well? Like if you place a fountain, does it still make absolutely no noise? Because no one at Frontier thought that we would want to put fountains inside our aviaries. I don't agree with that one, Rugups, because the whole diving behavior is, well, A, they wouldn't be able to have done it, and B, that's just Jurassic World nonsense. I mean, it would be nice if the pterosaurs had social animation behaviors. Like, what the F? You gave us walking animation, and then you don't give us any social animations at all? Like, none of them? There's no way... Nah, Rugups. Pteranodon was not able to swim. Pterosaurs weren't designed for it. I've heard all the theories about them being able to do it, but they weren't built to swim. Certainly in no way like if they fucking do in bloody Jurassic World. I mean, they wouldn't have been able to take her from the water like that. They'd have just drowned. Austroraptor. Just stick with the skins The walking isn't really walking. Nyctosaurs literally couldn't walk. How are they able to catch fish if they couldn't go in the water? Rugops, you do realize that
Incubation personnel, please stand by.
just because fish live in water doesn't mean you have to actually dive into water to catch fish. Like, there are literally birds called skimmers who are well known for having broken beaks because they catch fish by skimming along the surface of lakes or rivers to catch fish in the way that traditionally pterosaurs have been depicted as doing it. I mean, no post assigned. I literally assigned one. I literally assigned... Oh. Silly of me. Are those Atrociraptors finished? They are, but we've only got... Wow, that's pretty shitty. Again, why are the Atrociraptors only in groups of, like, 3? That makes no sense. Stop. Medium food. And medium drink. Just realized probably the other way of doing this map would be to create like a tour ride and just hope that the carnivores you create stay where you put them. Rugops, I think I'm going to have to go away and do some research and then link you to some articles once I've done the research. Because I'm pretty sure that pterosaurs like Pteranodon would have been able to skim feed. There's no reason why they couldn't. Their beaks were literally designed for it. They were the same shape as skimmer beaks. Like, there's no reason they wouldn't have been able to. What's going on here? Low health disease, avian pox. What the heck is avian pox? Oh, do I have to photograph an animal with avian pox? This thing does not stop in the wet. The game is rebelling against us because we were close to doing it all. No pterosaurs have the adaptations for skim feed, Fletcher. It's an outdated thing. Well, I'm going to have to go and research it properly because I don't see how pterosaurs would swim. Are you going to tell me as dark it's capable of swimming? I'm going to have to go away and do some research, I think. Avian pot. Go away. Chad, I'm not a paleontologist, you know that I'm not, but like I said, I am perfectly willing to go away and do the research myself. And look up the theories and the research stuff like I do for the 10 things you might not know about videos. And investigate it myself and report back, because I personally did not think that the pterosaurs not being able to skim thing was true. The last time I heard, that was the prevailing theory. So if theories have changed, then I would like to go away, find the research, and, you know, prove it. Why has this Foxy Storm gone and done that? Well, Chad, if your source of knowledge is solely prehistoric planet, then that's not sufficient evidence. Not to mention, prehistoric planet was relatively hyper-focused on very few behaviors. What's wrong with these guys? Danger to me. Oh, did the Atrociraptors... Oh, they were, but they weren't happy because... Not enough wetland. Really? This is still not enough wetland? Okay. And, oh, yes, of course, they want fish feed. There we go. Happy now, too few adults. Well, they can put up with it as far as I'm concerned. Imagine getting your facts from Dinosaur Stephen Fry. Oof. Big oof. That program really was god-awful. Good night, Chad. Like I say, after the stream, I will go away and look on the website I use for all the free-to-access research articles and find out the answer, because, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I hadn't heard of any new theories, and I hadn't seen anything pop up anywhere, so, you know. But if I'm wrong, I shall hold my hands up and admit it. I agree. Quets should be able to eat goats and not fish. I mean, all meat from the meat feeder in general.
Prepare asset for.
I have a suspicion Coelophysis requires arid. And I don't mind if this stream goes on a little longer than normal, because I just want to finish this one in this stream. So the only thing we'll need after this is guests. I really wish it was clearer whether it was the number of hotels or something else that really does it, because I don't understand how that works. Like, sometimes hotels, you just build lots of hotels and that does it. Sometimes it's nothing to do with hotels at all. I suspect it's because I don't have wide paths, so I'm going to go and grab that. How happy are the guests? Well, I wish there was a way of figuring out what the problem is, apart from just the species attainment being too low. The transport rating seems to be the problem. Even though we literally have hyperloops everywhere. So once just normal pasture, not see, that's just bullshit when that happens. We'll arbitrarily put a gap here because this rock is apparently not rocky enough. I swear they've set that up just to force escapes. Like, randomly one rock will just basically not apply. Because screw you. I knew I had a problem the minute I saw them running in one direction. And I love the fact also that they literally do just run straight in the direction of the fucking gap. Like, it's not like they found the gap naturally. It's like they knew automatically, oh, there's a gap there, we'll run and escape. Just another example of the forced bloody rubbish that this game has in it sometimes. I use monorails for visibility and transport. See, my issue is I actually kind of hate the monorails. I've never liked them. I think they're kind of ugly, to be honest. I've always thought they're like way too tall. I think they would be better if they were about 2/3 the height where they are. Oh, of course, I know. I've forgotten a couple of other things. Okay. So that should deal with that problem. That should deal with that problem. And then I suppose I kind of need the people to be able to see them. I kind of forgot about the whole you need to be able to see the animal bit. There we go. Every dinosaur is visible now. But it is still... So let's just go around and replace... Because I think the problem is this slot down here, personally. I mean, it makes you laugh how many people are actually walking around these parts, because the Hyperloop stations are everywhere. Okay, so we're up to 1853. I love the fact that absolutely nobody is walking around up here, because Hyperloop stations apparently don't spawn people. Okay, toilet needs are fine there. Okay, there's a little bit of need apparently over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Let's make sure these needs are dealt with down here. Okay, bathroom needs. Bathroom needs are totally fine, no problem. Transport rating. Transport over there is bad. But that's because it's the bloody entrance. Drink needs are fine. Shopping needs are fine. Food needs are fine. Guest crowding. The problem is apparently that little Hyperloop station right there. One Hyperloop entrance at the entrance should be enough. Let's see if that actually makes a difference. Why is it some buildings snap apart and others don't? Okay, that did lead to a bit of a boost, but we're 50 off. Is it just because 3 hotels is not enough? Let's plunk down one more hotel and see if it does anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park.
Apparently not. It must be this transport rating. Either that or it's because these guys I haven't set up, so let's try doing that. Okay, that just made it go down. Devil. Okay, can someone tell me how we just lost a bunch of appeal? Oh, I wonder if it's because this guy isn't very visible, actually. With really big enclosures, it's difficult to keep dinosaurs fully visible. Outside buildable area. Stop being a douchebag, evolution. Not outside buildable area. Oh, it is because of that stupid bag. Nope. It doesn't have the viewing visibility. Okay, simple solution in case it is just a matter of visibility. I have to try and see if we can squeeze one in somewhere. Yeah, I think it's the Spinosaurus being in and out of visibility. So I'm just going to squeeze a balloon tour in somewhere and hope that fixes the problem. When in doubt, balloon tour. Oh, for God's sake, now what? Okay, the constant sea of, oh, all of the animals are getting sick is bugging me. Should be able to research, or permanent vaccines should be a research. Having to constantly vaccinate the same animals over and over again, so they've got the same bloody disease again, it's just stupid.
Ladies and
Hookworms
gentlemen,
is the problem.
take to the skies and marvel
Tuberculo-
at the sights with our new...
Tuberculosis. Grumbly, grumbly, bim. Yeah, the amenity profits are all pretty decent. I mean, I'm pretty good at making sure my amenities are running correctly. Not looking at anyone in particular. How has that Austroraptor got? Bugger. do not have the room for this. Away.
Attention. Now ready for collection.
Yes, sorry, Branson. But I didn't think everything has fucking tuberculosis now. Wonderful. Because, you know, tuberculosis. Gotta love it. And this one doesn't even have that. It has salmonella. That's a completely different bloody illness. What is it? Just when you get up to this level of this particular camp? Oh, it's because of him. His fucking unrest. That's the problem. He's just fucking poisoning them all, isn't he?
Treatment. Available personnel.
Okay, hopefully this should deal with the problem. Oh no, this one has something completely different. We've got the full grouping here of every single disease on the menu. I mean, they cannot get to... Jesus Christ. How is it inaccessible? Oh, now we have a storm. This is reminding me of why I stopped doing challenge mode on Evolution 1. When it just kept throwing storm, 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 random disease, storm, storm. It becomes not fun. Okay, the diseases are dealt with. There is no storm. Balloon Tour should be dealing with the fact that the Spinosaurus exhibit is a bit too big for the viewing dome. So, why are we still not hitting that 2,000 guest target? Go away. What? How did that dinosaur How did that dinosaur escape? Because apparently this group of rocks is not rocky enough. Was that the problem? Because they were technically... Oh, we've got the same problem down here as well. Apparently this group of rocks is also not rocky enough. I would like to have the paleobotany greenhouse back, because I actually thought there was some interesting gameplay inherent in that. Okay, so I don't see what the problem is here. It's still stuck on the transport rating. Where's the bloody... What do you mean, dinosaur threat? What's escaped now? Danger to get... How is that a danger to guests? Literally, there is no way for them to escape. How? How is it a danger to guests? They cannot get out. There's literally no issue. They can't get out of anywhere. Sorry, we're looking at transport, weren't we? I don't... Is it literally that single piece of path? Is that what they're bitching about? There's no dinosaur threat. It's completely enclosed. Show me it escaping, game. All I do when I'm pissed off. Show me where is the hole, game. Because even your stupid identifier says everything is fine. There are no gaps in this fence. I have a sneaking suspicion. It's because the fucking paleo vet building's half inside the enclosure. I have a suspicion that's what the problem is. Because I had to flipping squeeze it in there. I think I've accidentally blocked that. Excuse me? What? Hang on. What? What? It just arbitrarily poisoned all of my feeders. What? It just randomly gave everything an illness. Is that how this particular challenge mode rolls? When there's absolutely no reason to do so, it just automatically gives everybody a chance just to fuck you over more. No scientist ticked off. No reason. Why can you not find a path to the irritators? Literally both there. Oh, for heaven's sake, one of them's now got E. coli, so I'm going to have to go and get that. Is this literally just... We're going to give every one of your dinosaurs a new disease until you've researched every single disease? Avian pox, Cryptosporidius. Way. All I was trying to do was sort out this sodding... I think it's this. I think it's literally that one singular piece of path that they're kicking up a fuss about. Because I don't see any other problem. There are Hyperloop stations everywhere, Rugops. I don't think it's needing a Hyperloop. I think it's this single piece of path. They just want it slightly bigger. I mean, I put another Hyperloop in where you told me to put one, and it didn't help. Or at least it didn't tick over the full amount that we needed. I think it's this piece of path. They want it just super, super wide. Okay, Professor Rugops, then you tell me where you think that is required, because it's still highlighted as yellow. Why? They literally have one there. If they desire one up here, that is next level bullshittery, frankly. Considering they literally have a stop there, I do not see why they need one there. Nope, that didn't sort this. That didn't help either. Oh, finally! Jesus Christ! Okay, so it was the Hyperloop. They demanded one there because walking from here to there was too much. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. To have to put in a Hyperloop literally for that viewing platform, that is some arbitrary bullshit. Well done, Rugops. And we have the Triceratops statue. Lovely. Oh, well, that's all done. None of them, I think, are within part-time. Let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't tell you if you... It doesn't tell you if you did them within the part-time or not. That's a shame. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only one I did within the part-time is the camera work one. The rest, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm glad they're all done. That Indonesia one, though, is annoying. Thank God that's done. All for some bloody statues, which I'll probably very rarely use. Well, I'll probably use some of them quite a bit, actually. Oh, right, well, I'm going to go, and I'm going to end the stream here, and go away and do some research and see what's going on with the pterosaurs. I will be back on Sunday for some non-dinosaur gaming, I think I've decided. I might need a break from this. I might not. We might be back on this. I need to figure out how I feel. But yeah, I will see you guys on Sunday for the next stream. And yeah, wherever you are, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings. Thank you for staying with me, and good night.